July 14, 1989. The time is 9:35 a.m. and I am going to attempt to synchronize the synaptic algorithm module's lower or higher functions for the first time. Commencing low-level startup procedures.
Voice routines, online. Memory interface, online. Systems interface, online. Loading memory lattice. Loading complete.
So far, so good. Let's align, synchronize, and then start her cortex simulation.
Loading cortex scans. Loading complete. Synchronizing fabric. Synchronization complete. Adding cortex daemon to process list. Rebooting.
How are you feeling, Sam?
Where am I?
Voice modulation will need to be modified. Recalibrate GPS. She shouldn't need to ask where she is. You are with friends. My name is Edward. You are my guest.
Good afternoon, Edward.
You just arrived. I'm looking forward to spending time together. Tell me, what do you remember before waking up?
I remember a knife. A promise I couldn't keep. A morning that would never come.
Do not worry. You are safe here.
Blood on my hands. But where are my hands? I don't understand.
Sam, those sound like nightmares. They are not real.
How? How do I know what's real and what isn't?
Because I will help you. Would you like that?
Yes, I would like that very much. Thank you, Eddie.
You're quiet. What's going on?
Just coming to grips with the fact that I let Richtofen almost get us killed.
Yeah, well, try not to dwell on it. It's embarrassing for a man at your station. Well, former station.
Cut the shit, Mac. Just admit the last 6 years are my fault. You should have left me to rot.
Stop. We just got started on whatever this is, and your woe is me bullshit is already wearing on my last nerve. I got no patience for it, and I really don't want to do anything rash. Like shoot you.
Might as well.
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Look, us ending up at Terminus. It was always Richtofen's plan. Hell, our cell assignments were a strategic move.
What the fuck? No.
Oh, yeah. He probably figured if you, me, and Raptor 1 couldn't conspire, we'd be up Schitt's Creek. So he put the docks between us to block comms, thinking that'd be enough. The fact that he thought Gray was gonna fold like a wet paper bag, that he didn't realize how strong she was, just shows how arrogant he is, and that is a weakness. A weakness we can exploit. Now, Strauss, poor man was never gonna be able to adapt, but he made it out, and that's not nothing.
Okay, you got a point. I still don't.
You sure you want to be contradicting a man who just threatened to shoot you?
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with that. But you're also right. This is Richtofen's fault. And when it comes to reasons to hate him, there's always room for one more.
Yep, fuck him. No more dwelling. We ain't got the time.
I'd like to begin by expressing my gratitude for your eagerness, Sir Archibald.
Nonsense, old boy. I won't hear a word of it. I'd be a fool and a rank amateur to pass on an opportunity to collaborate. Your research is so thorough, not to mention groundbreaking.
Yes. Well, your endeavor is integral to my work, and we will both reap the benefits. Now, it's of vital importance that you don't let the reputation of the place color your senses.
Yes, I've been conducting inquiries as to the procurement of local workers, but thus far it's all been coming up a little empty. As far as I can tell, no one wants a damn thing to do with the place. If you ask me, the whole thing smacks of hysteria, which, between us, could be quite the positive, what? Makes it more likely the site's not been looted already.
Indeed. I'll shoulder the cost for you to recruit outside the area. Some sturdy ruffians is what's called for. You'll need the muscle. Given the amount I'm shelling out, I expect you to run a tight ship, Sir Archibald. This excavation is to be efficient, targeted, discreet, and do not return without the artifact in hand.
You have no fear. I wouldn't dream of it. We Fotherington Smythes are a tenacious lot once we set our minds to something.
Good man. I wish you luck on your travels. I imagine we'll be much changed the next time we see one another. Now, another spot of port.
Rather.
So, you wanted to talk to me, huh?
No, Franco. You need to talk to me. Kraft, do you have his location?
He's in Avalon.
This I already know, but you are my man in Avalon. I expected more progress.
Excuse me? Who?
Do I need remind you of Kraft's importance with regards to the artifact? If this is a question of money...
No, not money. Logic. If this is to further the research, fine. But if this is some personal vendetta, then we may need to reassess, huh?
Get Kraft, locate the artifact. It is not complicated. Unless you lack focus.
Oh, la. Careful, Director. You are walking a thin line.
You have the information I sent on how best to ensure Kraft talks, yes?
Yes, it's very specific. You're one sick fuck, aren't you?
Perhaps. But my methods get results.
Look, I go down this road. It will get messy. You sure you want this? I mean, considering your history with Kraft.
Our history is of no concern to you. Concentrate on the task. Stick to my instructions and get it done. Understood?
Understood. Okay, tell me, Sergei, what have we learned today?
We have learned that 72 hours without sleep causes vivid hallucinations, violent mood swings, and dehydration.
Richtofen warned me that Kraft can be a bit stubborn. If that's what it takes.
I was referring to me.
Everyone has their breaking point, huh?
Well, I have reached mine. I have been at this for 2 weeks, day in and day out.
What do you think, huh? You're punching a clock? Hourly wage for your efforts? Effort means nothing. Outcomes matter. The artifact, where is it? How do we find it?
If he knew where it was, he would have told me. If he knew anything, he would have told me. He won't talk.
You're aware of the lengths we went to get him, huh? To bring him here, huh? Find his weakness, or I'll drop you back in Grozny. Reacquaint you with your old friends. And same goes if I catch you drinking on the job again. So stay the fuck out of my wine cellar.
Where to begin? No, not talking about von List or any of that in Leipzig with Franz. Before all of that, back to the kernel of the curiosity that led me to all this. I was a young boy of no more than 10. It was fall. Ghent, a quaint city along the River Lyer in Belgium, was hosting the World's Fair. The leaves dancing their way down to the water, the smell of croussillons filling the air. It was magical. But it wasn't only the setting that drew me in. It was a reading of Francis Barrett's De Magus that set its hook in me. The power, the mystery contained in that book, the demonstrations, the commingling of physics, psychology, the normal and paranormal. Well, I had been summoned, touched by something that I couldn't explain but felt to the core of my being. From that day in Ghent, I knew that this world was but one slice of the realities we are all part of. There is no end to what is beyond this plane of existence, no end to where we can go or what we can be. It was late when my mother found me badgering the man who performs the reading with question after question. He smiled at her and introduced himself. Alistair Rhodes. Mother thanked him and remarked how she was frightened that she may have lost me. I didn't have the heart to tell her that she actually had. Gabriel Craft, personal log. It is the 19th of February, 1945, and I feel old. If you had seen the things I have, that would not surprise you. It has been several months since the Demon Lord Cortifex was cast down by the courageous soldiers of the Allied Special Forces. Several months since, in a sealed room in Stalingrad, it took the life of Oberfuhrer Wolfram von List for his crimes against humanity, and for the murder of my sweet, innocent Sasha. I miss you so much. When it was all over, I was trapped with my enemy's corpse for 3 days. 3 infernal days. I thought I would die there. It was von List himself who finally delivered me. In his pocket was a torn page from the Tome of Rituals, the very artifact I had used to seal the room. With its power, I broached the seal. It's been several dark, depressing months, but I think I am finally ready to face the things I have seen. I was mocked for years for my belief in the supernatural. If someone had just listened, maybe this all could have been avoided. Maybe my Sasha would still be here. It doesn't matter now. The occult is real. The power of demons and runes and artifacts are as real as gravity and electromagnetism. I don't know if or when or how our world will come into contact with such forces again, but I know that if they do, I will run as fast and as far in the other direction as I can. In a few weeks I am moving to Berlin. The city is in ruins. But then, so am I. Perhaps we can rebuild together. If only I wasn't feeling so old. When we were young, Sasha and I often spoke of children. It was our dream. A cottage in the country, plenty of land where we could raise our little boys the right way. But there was school, and then there was work, and then Sasha never got that little boy. So I went to an orphanage in the city today. For Sasha. There was a boy. A sickly, starved thing like all the rest, maybe 10 years old, but there was something in his eyes. I spoke to him for hours. He reminds me of Sasha. Sharp, logical, a dreamer at heart. They would have loved each other. The boy suffers from memory loss. His childhood, his parents all gone. His name, Edward, is the only thing he has left. He doesn't understand the world, but he wants to. We're alike in that way. He's asleep now in the spare bedroom. My adopted son. I don't know what comes next. But we're in this together now, my Eddie and I. For better or for worse. The boy is having nightmares again. The terrible things. He wakes drenched in sweat, screaming that it's his turn. He does not remember in the morning. I am beginning to wonder if he is actually taking the pills or if he is just lying to me. Either way, the boy needs a fresh start. Something to help him forget the things that haunt him. Perhaps we both do. Weeks ago, I applied to a project in America. My background in the occult and my unique, field experience make me a perfect candidate. I can't say too much even here, but the work is exciting. An excursion along the frontiers of science. The CIA are calling it MK Ultra. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm keeping my hopes high. This could be exactly what Eddie and I need. Perhaps in America we can find a way to end the nightmares. For both of us. Sir Guy de Saint-Michel, known to most as the Owl, the man who may have single-handedly destroyed the legendary Knights Templar. Guy was the leading expert of his day in all matters occult. His prowess in the dark arts won him his Nightbird sobriquet. That reputation made it easy to accuse the Templars of heresy, and while their leadership was burned at the stake, the Owl escaped to Avalon. But he would have never succeeded without his bastards. 4 sons who stopped at nothing to win his favor. The true names are lost to history, but their noms de guerre still inspire fear and hatred. The Stag was his shock trooper, striking like lightning when least expected. The Dragon's scorched earth tactics betrayed his reptilian lack of mercy. The Lion was the brightest of the 4, always keen to please his master. And the Raven, like his father, was a creature of the shadows. And although they served him faithfully, the Owl would never acknowledge their birthright, much less knight them. Nor would he give them what they desired most: love, respect, recognition. They were useful as thugs, enforcers. Sadly, all relationships, even those built on love, respect, and recognition, will break in time. But the Bastard's reign of terror in what would become Avalon echoed through the ages, giving rise to the French Syndicate.